Microphone activated.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got OG versus iG.Vitality. Game 2 now, starting off. Game 1, of course, going the way of OG very convincingly as well. I'm ODPixel, I'm joined by Draskyl. The draft is underway. Andy, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm ready for iG.V to show their true colors, because
Yep.
I refuse to believe that that is the best that team has to offer after watching game number 1. But Drow's bad, so shocker.
Absolutely. I can't believe they did that. But they did. And
I mean, when you and I would ban Drow after that game, that's when you know.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's gonna get banned.
You just don't do it again. And OG switched it up a little bit. I mean, that is a hero that there's certainly been a lot of series where it's been top contention in terms of bans. I feel like it's probably been banned than it has more than it has been picked. But OG will get the chance to get their hands on it. Pick one, and I imagine that's most likely to be the S4 bat, isn't it? I mean, I guess they could play it mid, but surely, I mean, I don't know what Anna's bat playing potential is like, but you'd imagine it to be S4, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean that's my thinking as well.
Yeah.
The snap reaction from iG.V picking up the Slark, it's obviously a great core against bat, good night vision, the ability to dark pact off things like lasso. The only thing about picking Slark super early is that he is very vulnerable in lane. So, okay, after staying the OD, it's almost 100% going to be
S4
going to be the S4 bat. And that's kind of putting him in a similar position that he was in game 1, where he had a hero that was going to be able to just go soak jungle stacks. And I'm assuming, with banning out their Riki as well, that they are going to be looking to play the more efficient early game, similar to game 1 where they're just doing all these stacks. Offlaner gets a really fast blink. You just start playing, very fast-paced Dota, take objectives and whatnot. Obviously, it's going to be a bit slower in the objective department because they don't have access to Drow, but it still seems like the opening has a similar feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the question is, do they follow it through with more of the same? And I guess, well, actually, sorry, as you're pointing out, yeah, with the bans, they can't. So, OG, third ban, will be the Darkseer. I mean, obviously, with the fact that they banned out the Oracle, they're not going to be able to pick that up as a way of countering a Darkseer in lane, so making sure iG.V
It's also amazing with Earth Spirit and Slark.
Yes.
They are great Ion Shell carriers, the both of them. Early game for the Earth Spirit, for obvious reasons, roll in, get a lot of free damage, and then mid to late game, Slark with an Ion Shell can be a nuisance, to say the least. Not only that, but it's just more lane pressure that you can apply with the DS, and if you want to play a greedy early game, you don't want to give the enemy team an offlaner who can shove the wave onto the tower consistently. It makes it very hard for the supports to stack freely because they have to babysit their safe laner a bit more.
Oh well, No Tails, Naga being banned out, something we saw them play, would have been yesterday against OG, wasn't it? And I believe that was the game that they won. I want to say. I think that was in game 1, wasn't it? And then, of course, it was... Yeah, that was the game because they had, Anna OD and No Tail Naga. And it was pretty disgusting. I mean, you look at that series yesterday, EG versus OG. In game 1, it was like OG were all over EG. But then, of course, consequently, EG were able to pull it right back. But game 1, we did see the power of No Tail Naga. It still certainly is there. So,
I mean, you can still look for things like... you can go back for an anti-mage, for example. It's a classic matchup against Slark. And if you know that you're banning out like these really tough offlaners to deal with, like Darkseer, you can put that in your back pocket and say, okay, if iG.V don't have a lot of disable and Slark's on the field, AM is always going to be a solid pick. It can be countered in lane just like Slark can, but given the fact that we're kind of assuming that S4 is going to be in the offlane role, I don't think they're as concerned about necessarily laning against the Slark as they are just having something during the mid game to deal with it. So I'm looking for the core position to be what counters the Slark here.
Let's see if iG.V want to go for anything kind of similar to game 1. Obviously, Tide is still there, so they're playing in game 1, but it really didn't kind of hit off the ground as much as it needed to. We saw a couple of ravages, but even, he hits multiple heroes in July, but they were already in a position where OG were able to stick around and just turn around the fights after it was used. Invoker is going to be the pick for, we can imagine, Sakasa in that mid lane. And something that's, I guess, is going to be able to hold its own a bit against Anna's OD.
Yeah, Xrd Invoker does alright. As the OD gets more levels, depending on how they like to skill, like previously, you would kind of put more points into Arcane Orb, you would go like 4-1-4, and then your Forest Spirits would kind of just get demolished, because the more points into Arcane Orb, it does like 100 more damage to those units like per point, and at one stage you just one-shot them, so it was really hard. But nowadays, since a lot of ODs aren't skilling it, and they're just putting more points into Astral Imprisonment because the skill just sucks at level 1. I think it's not as hard of a matchup as it used to be. And plus he's got that Earth Spirit roaming around, so he'll have help from dogfights as well. I'm assuming he's going to be playing it again. But I think iG.V is a little bit more stable this time around. They actually have good solutions for the heroes that OG have picked up so far. It doesn't feel so, lopsided even like 3 picks in.
No. It's certainly feeling a little bit more well-rounded from iG.V as they build together this toolset for Game 2 against OG. And OG now, with their picks, still looking for what we'd imagine to be no-tails. And, of course, Jerax's and Fly's selections. And we'll see what goes on. We've certainly seen in the past the no-tail bat rider, haven't we, Andy? Like where they play it.
We know that he plays it. It's just a matter of, who's more comfortable on what hero.
Yeah. And I guess S4, I don't know if that would necessarily work because S4's normally on the playmakers rather than the hard carrier off lanes. So there's Disruptor.
That's a good Slark counter.
Yeah, absolutely. Something to deal with that. Something as well that's, I guess, kind of nice with an OD in terms of setup. You catch someone in an Astral, if you've got the ult, you're going to be guaranteed to trap them in it. So
yeah, absolutely. It's a devastating combo. Heck, even Lasso into Static Storm. You just pull them back into it and they can't really do much about it.
And also something that picked against them could have caused issues as well.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, Disruptor is a bit of a weak lane support. I think if iG.V were going to pick it, they'd probably have to pick it last.
Okay.
Because then, if OG, they see a Disruptor Slark lane, that lane is crazy weak. You just pick, like, an Undying or something and walk up there and punch him in the face with your Bat Rider, and there would be almost nothing that iG.V could do about it. That's the one thing about Disruptor is he's not really that strong of a laner, but he adds kill potential when you have another hero with him that has damage. So, in the cases that you're talking about, like getting the Imprisonment into Static Storm, those are all very, very valid combos. It's just about getting him to that point where he actually has ult, because he's not spectacular during the first couple of creep waves.
iG.V now. Let's see what they do decide to take. Still, in July.
Silencer.
And there's going to be the Silencer. So something that we actually saw, it was OG banned out against iG.Vitality in Game 1. And this time iG.Vitality able to get their hands on it. And, I mean, that global silencer can certainly cause a lot of issues for this lineup of heroes that aren't really going to be building into ways of dealing with that. I mean, eventually OG in the bat has a BKB, but that's it.
There's no Lotus Orb carriers yet on the side of OG either. No one who's going to be getting, a decent amount of farm like a position 3. I guess it's going to have to be like S4 or something. Maybe he buys a Yule's at some point. That's like one of the cheaper items to deal with Global Silence. I'm still like looking at this and thinking, God, this is such a good AM game. Like, you get a Manta style and you can Manta pretty much out of anything. And you just are free to do whatever you want. They have 3 heroes with gigantic mana pools that you can mana void at any point. The only problem with the pick is that it's very farm heavy. And I think that, iG.Vitality has some really good fighting potential on the back of things like Global and opening up the fight with like a Shadowblade Slark and an Earth Spirit initiation. So it's a bit hard to run, I would say, for the first like 20 to 25 minutes, but you can get
What?
Okay, that's just
all
a
right.
Slark counter.
We're going game 3, boys.
That is a pure and simple Slark counter.
Okay. Isn't that kind of the pub mentality? I mean, is it really that hard of a counter to Slark? I mean, yeah, it's the whole, you get the vision when he's low, so he's not going to benefit from that. But other than that...
It's more about the Rupture, I think, than the vision.
Okay.
I mean, the vision definitely helps, but Rupture lasts 12 seconds, right? So your Shadow Dance on Slark only lasts 4 at any level. So normally what you do on Slark is you pop your Dark Pact, and then you pounce in while you're Dark Pacting, and you Shadow Dance after. And then you Dark Pact as your Shadow Dance is ending, so you don't get disabled, right? So you have potentially like 12 seconds of invincibility against stunts. But if you're Ruptured, you pretty much got to freaking stand still that whole time, and you just can't do anything.
And this is the safe lane Bloodseeker, isn't it?
I don't know what they're doing yet.
I'm hoping for a Jerax roaming support Bloodseeker, jungling and running around the map, but we'll see what we do get here. Obviously, iG.Vitality do indeed think it is going to be no-tails here. They ban out the Kunkka.
They can go greedy though, OG, because they see Silencer as a secondary support, and Silencer is not a rotating
and yeah,
hero,
it's going to be a support roaming Bloodseeker. It's going to be probably Jerax playing it, by the looks of it, and Void. So it will be no-tail Void. This is, I mean, OG certainly switching it up here in game 2.
All right, so the 6 synergy here is the Blood Right plus Void Chronosphere combo. That's the actual dream. And IG going for the full vision strat. They're going to get the Night Stalker and have the Slark, so they have double night vision heroes. They have vision restriction against the Batrider, and they're going to look to more play like a constricted style, win the lanes, try to do what they can during the mid game to apply pressure to OG. I think. Oh god, I don't even know. I don't even know who's going to win this game, dude. I would not have thought in 1,000 years that a team was going to pick Bloodseeker like that.
Bloodseeker, if Bloodseeker Jungle ends up winning, I don't think I'm queuing any pubs today, Andy.
I'm not going to queue a pub ever again.
No.
That's it. I'm just done.
So, I'm sure everyone's rooting for iG.V in this draft to just crush this Bloodseeker Jungle. You know, Reddit might have an aneurysm if Bloodseeker wins here and the Bloodseeker Jungle is good.
The funny part is it's actually not bad because it hard counters Slark without having to commit a lot of farm. And it's very hard to do that. You know, normally you think of stuff like Ancient Apparition because you can stop his regen and whatnot, and anything that gives a lot of vision, but Bloodseeker, the beauty of it is that Rupture range is super long, so it's not even really hard to get the spell off during a fight, and he has to play super careful around you, and if he ever does get to that low health threshold, he's screwed. He'll never be able to go back in the fight, whereas a lot of the time, Slark's, his main goal is to go in, get a kill, disengage, go in again, get another kill, disengage, but he can't do that if you get too low, so it makes it very hard to play the hero, undoubtedly.
There we go, boys. Tango's Iron Talon is ready to go. The jungle Bloodseeker is being prepped. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. They get the ward down, they get out.
It was just a nice call by Fly to run it this way, because as soon as he saw the silencer, instead of trying to punish the silencer pick in lane or anything like that, or pick a quote-unquote counter to the silence, it's more just, we're going to play super greedy, and we're going to get so much more out of the early game that it won't matter whatever teamfight potential you have with your global silence.
And the thing is as well, obviously, talking about the teamfight potential of iG.V. I mean, OG, they've got Chronos, they've got, whatever it's called, Bloodbright. I never cast this hero. No one plays it. Yeah, Bloodbright and then Static Storm. They've got a huge amount of just screw up in AoE.
And Bloodbright's silence is very long as well. It's 6 seconds. So if you get chronoed, it guarantees that Bloodbright's going to land. It's also pure damage. And we're talking about late game Blood Rage on an OD as well, which is going to do some insane damage.
Oh, S4. He's having a bit of a trouble here.
He's alright.
What's he got? He's got to roll forward. He's got a slow. There we go. He's going to land
right
it. And there's a pounce in 3 seconds. The slow might be enough. There's a lot of stacks of napalm. And it is going to be enough. In fact, S4. He's going to start and ward them off. 7 stacks on Paparazzi. My goodness.
It's going to really hurt if you get autoed with that many stacks.
Keep going, S4. 9 stacks. Oh. That is,
I mean, you're almost moving backwards at this point.
10 stacks. I don't think I've ever seen that in a pro game.
Alright, he's won his lane. 10 stacks, Slark.
Dogfight. Coming in again. I won't be able to do anything. Anyway, in fact, look, Super's coming with a wraparound. And S4's kind of low, so S4 might have got a bit cocky with the 10 stacks. We'll see if they do anything here. Nah, he's fine. He's actually fine. So S4 having a bit of an eventful offlane at the moment, but he's fine. No one to die as of yet. The other lanes, Anna versus Cicada. I mean, the other lanes, what do you expect to see? I mean, this bottom lane, Night Stalker, how's he going to do?
I mean, I don't think he's going to get killed or anything. He's very tanky. He can't lane a lot of regen. He's even going for the poor mans. He can just get it as soon as he can get to the side shop to buy a second slipper, which should be soon, because I think that, they're doing a pull, so... I don't think he'll ever die unless he makes a mistake, and I think during the mid game they're really relying on just the Slark farming. Like, they can play reactionary Dota with their heroes because they have global silence and they have, the invoker spells as well to fall back on, and just try to make as much room as they can for Paparazzi.
Top lane talking about Paparazzi, misses the pounce. S4, he should be A-okay here. Just kind of playing around with the side of iG.V at the moment up top. So it seems to be much more of a balanced start for both sides compared to the bloodbath we saw in Game 1. No one to fall there as of yet. And Jerax.
This Bloodseeker is going to be huge, though.
Yep, he's, 2 minutes in? He's reaching on to level 4 nearly. And, bottom lane, in fact. Let's see if they can get anything done here with the field down. A nice bash from No-Tail. Moving in onto Dogfights. He has got a Time Walk as well if he wants to chase it down. Just blocks up in July. And just give iG.V a fair bit of a beating in July has the South, so he will be okay.
The thing that iGV are suffering from right now is there's too many things to have to do in the early game. It's like you want to shut down the Bloodseeker, you want to try to do what you can to shut down the safe lane, you want to win mid. It's like there are so many, you know, checkboxes that they have to tick here in the early game to get out ahead, and it's just, it ain't gonna happen. There's no way. The best they can hope for is that, you know, Cicada outplays Ana mid and they win that lane. Because no matter what happens, you know, S4 is going to get his blink eventually. He'll be able to go do the jungle at some point when JRX decides that he wants to start moving out on the map. And No Tail's not being shut down, so it's a lot. Oh god.
Okay, he's dead. In fact, it's Cicada who got the first blood as well. 2 kills happening at exactly the same time. So don't put T-Tors in the chat, you mother truckers. There was 2 kills at the same time. We watched the more exciting one, I'm sure. This one was a rubbish kill. He missed nothing. But anyway, 2 kills for iG.V. And first blood for the Invoker. That's great. That's fantastic for Cicada.
Yeah, that's best case scenario. You want this guy to get a lot, so that way he can start applying pressure. You know, he deals a lot of damage. They don't necessarily have like great setup for any of his spells, but if he still gets ahead, Invoker is a great mid to late game hero. Regardless, he can have a lot of impact. So the start that not necessarily is perfect, but it's going in the right direction.
I mean, Jax, so build-wise, I picked some infused raindrops actually, and the brown boots. Is that good? That's going to be a Midas. Is he going Midas this game? Is that what you have to do?
I think he's actually going Treads.
Do you think he's just going to go Treads?
He bought the gloves first because that's the faster jungling thing, and then you just go for Treads.
All right, so no Midas here today, boys. Don't worry, your pubs won't be ruined that much. Jax. Going for the Bloodseeker gank. As the Invis rune. Eyes onto Cicada in the mid lane.
This is a kill if he gets imprisoned.
But at the same time, iG.V are coming over as well. We'll see who kicks it over first. iG.V, now they're actually going to head into the jungle. They're looking for that Bloodseeker, but Bloodseeker's mid and Cicada says, oh, hang on. Something's blocking me. They'll look for the Astral. Into Bloodbright, set up the timing. And it's going to hit perfectly. And silencing Super as well. They're going to look to move in. Thunderstrike down onto the Invoker, but they haven't quite got enough damage, in fact, to finish it off.
A misplay by Fly, actually. He either didn't think that they were going to need the glimpse, or he just didn't do it. Because he had the Thunderstrike on him the entire time, had vision, he just didn't keep himself in range long enough to be able to get the glimpse off. Should have been a kill. With that vision as well, Dogfights pretty much knows exactly what's going on here in this middle lane.
He's going to play around with Fly a little bit, gets the stun off. What's this roll? What the heck? He's a little bit off point with that, and now JRX coming across. He's going to look to chase this one down. Here comes the jungle Bloodseeker. Chop, chop, chop.
Dead.
Oh. Alright, well, he managed to deny the kill from JRX, but it's a kill nonetheless.
But he's already 6. It's 5 minutes in.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, dude, jungle Bloodseeker jungle's real fast if you don't mess with him.
Alright, Ana. Feeling the pain here. There'll be a glimpse back onto July. Flies come forward. Ana, can he actually survive this? July's diving deep.
Imprisonment.
He needs a bit more backup. There's no backup coming in. Oh, yeah, the sound of the Astral. That might just do it. And it will. In fact, Cicada, he's tanking this up a fair bit. And one more touch and he's dead. Oh, the chrono, that'll do it. No Tail comes in to clean up the kill, but, well, they make them dive. And Ana with the plays there, keeping himself alive in the mid lane.
Yeah, that was really nice. And all these rotations have given S4 a little bit of breathing room as well. He's managed to get level 5 himself.
Oh, here we go.
Find Paparazzi here. Oh. He does not have a TP. He does not have a TP. He is very dead.
Oh.
JRX?
JRX? Yeah.
JRX? They don't have any. He's really scared that they're TPing.
He is absolutely terrified.
He is like, they are TPing for this guy, and he's like, oh wait, they're actually not TPing.
And Ana's like, well, if you won't do it, oh, well, no.
He's. I think he's dead.
Okay.
Yeah, he should be dead.
Ana could be in trouble though.
No, he was regenning. The imprisonment takes off Thirst. What?
What?
Okay, I did not know that.
All right, easy heals for the Slark.
Learning today.
I think Ana may be in a bit of trouble. Flies coming across the field. May just save him. Oh, no, it's not going to be enough. Astral's up again. But iG.V surround him. Oh, nice Sunstrike cap. But they still get the kill. The kill is there, so they find the punishment onto Ana. It just feels like OG maybe not totally used to playing with a Bloodseeker on their team there, but who can blame them? It's not something we see him every day.
JRX just like mind gamed himself super hard. He's like, I don't have any vision. There's no way iG.V are not teleporting to help their safe lane Slarg. And he just stood there the entire 12 seconds of Rupture, and not a single person on iG.V planned on coming up there. But that's also the strength of playing off map, right? Like a lot of supports, they just never show themselves, so you just don't know what they're doing. and just being off map can create that kind of pressure to where a guaranteed kill just turns into nothing, and then you kill the OD.
Well, this is well, game one was a bit of a party game. This one's certainly turning up to be a little bit messy as well, but that's what we like to see, unpredictability. And a lot of fun across the map, and well, Fly should be fine. Cicada can't quite get close to getting anything in to stop that one, so he's out. Bottom lane, Notel will have the chrono back up again in 10 seconds. Top lane, pressure being put on by iG.V. Just on the verge of taking this tier 1. Looks like there'll be a reaction from OG. S4's coming along. Nobody can see if he can get the deny. Oh, no, he can't. And in fact, S4 could be in trouble. Paparazzi moving in with the shadow dance. There'll be a kinetic field trying to hold the back. It's not enough. The range from Super.
Bottom lane as well.
Oh my goodness, diving in deep. What's happening here? There's a dead Earth Spirit. That's what Notel went in. And he did drop the chrono for that one. So getting a kill in return. But losing a core, taking down a support. iG.V will be happier with that trade, especially getting the tower as well on top of it.
Man, this is a little bit of a different feel than game one, I guess. But you can still look at the, the CS and the net worth and just see how much that OG are actually getting out of their early game. Just because of having that, level 7 jungle Bloodseeker at such an early stage, he's got more net worth than the mid player on his team. I mean, that's something.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily good news for him or bad news for Ana. As Ana is indeed just a little bit behind the Invoker. Notel sitting at the top of the net worth at the moment on Void. And may have a good chance of taking down this tier 1 bottom. Actually, no. TPs are going to come through. They are going to look to hold this. iG.V coming around. They've got the global silence online as well now from Super. So the next fight will be a hard one if OG do decide to take it as a bit of a group. And Jax, what is the build here for the Bloodseeker then after the treads?
I honestly have no freaking idea what he's gonna make.
Is it the Dagon? Are we gonna see Dagon Bloodseeker here in this competitive game?
I don't know about that. I don't actually see enough competitive Bloodseeker to even know if there's a build. So you know who we need? We need Melkin here, because that man knows Bloodseeker, and I don't. I never play this hero, so I would. Your guess is as good as mine, honestly.
We'll see if they're able to find anything here. They're coming into the jungle. They did, of course, spot Paparazzi in the neighborhood. And they have got a Rupture. And also a Lasso as well. So a lot of tools to lock him down. But there's a global silence. So we'll see how quickly Super reacts to maybe trying to save Paparazzi. I see. They're spotting him out now. What's the play going to be? Rupture's already down. Paparazzi with the Shadow Dance. And he's going to go for the TP out with the Flame Break there to cancel it. Paparazzi down. And he'll be taken out. And Super not even flinching. Not feeling like a global could have saved him there. As it probably did look like the slot was screwed whatever happened.
Well, if you can time the global between the Rupture and the other spells, then he can just TP out. That's one thing that you can always do to escape. But I think he just deemed it not worthy to global for that. I don't know. Maybe he could have saved them, maybe not. It was a risky play though, and sometimes when you're playing Silencer, when you have that ultimate cooldown, it's pretty long. It's 130 seconds, and if you mess it up, it's like even worse because then the enemy team can just continue to run at you.
You can see iG.V actually moving Cicada and Dogfights down towards the bottom lane, maybe hoping that OG will come in for some sort of a defense and they can look to try and take a team fight, but OG themselves, they're just hanging around in iG.V's half of the map, taking the jungle away from them, and now looking to take a tower. Notel at the moment, 1900 gold. Do you think he's just aiming for a quick blink this game on the Void?
It would be very strong in regards to team fights, because they actually have a lot of damage. He could just go, well, he went Aquila, so I don't think he's going to go Vlad's. He could just go like straight Manta, I guess. It's not bad. Dispels the silence from the global. Allows you to reliably get your chrono off. Wouldn't be a bad choice.
You see a lot of TP stop. iG.V want to fight this. The question is, do OG want to stick around and take it? They do have chrono and indeed Notel. Oh, that's a big one. 3-man chrono coming through. They need some sort of follow-up, and Fly couldn't get in range. He had the static, somebody couldn't get close enough. Notel will take down the silencer. Now they'll look towards iG.V's Dogfights, the Rupture, the Lasso, everything down onto him. They'll get a second.
That ward, man. That ward was the real MVP. Saw all three of iG.V in the area. Gives Notel the easiest chrono of his life. Good stuff. They do get the D ward though, which is something.
Absolutely. I mean, that could have been even messier if Fly was just a couple of steps closer. because he had that static storm. But even without it, a clear team fight win for OG.
It looks like JRX will also be going for the drums build, so just going for more stats. The one thing about Bloodseeker is he is very squishy, even if you have a lot of farm, because Blood Rage just makes you take an insane amount of damage. So a lot of people who play the hero build like stats, like drums, SNY, blade mails, stuff like that. Anything that will punish the enemy team for going on you.
The question is, I mean, yeah, they're going to try and make a go again, even without the Chrono. They've still got Rupture, they've still got Static Storm.
I mean, Rupture is a very short cooldown, so they're pretty much always going to have it.
And let's see what they can find with it. Moving over at the moment, Cicada kind of in the neighborhood. The Ancients towards the mid.
Did they not see the Ancients? Oh, they don't have night vision. They didn't see the Invoker Forge Spirits hitting the Ancients.
They're just going to look for the easier kill mid. Super been spotted out. They'll Astral of the Earth Spirit to make sure there's no kind of safe, but he is dead. Can they get themselves another? Doesn't look like they can. But what the old kind of Rupture glimpse there.
That was painful. I think he just got hit for like 500 damage when he got glimpsed. And that's only level 1 Rupture. It's only going to get worse. Man, the synergy between those two heroes is actually insane. Like, you Rupture somebody, if they get too low and they're running away, they get glimpsed, and you just splat.
Oh, absolutely.
Although I think the cutoff range is like 1300, so if they're actually max range, I don't think it does damage. I'm not actually sure of the interaction. Because it's supposed to be like if you go more than 1300 range in like a second, you don't take any damage.
Yeah, so like Quad Blink can avoid it, can't it?
If you're running, yeah. You have to like run and then blink, or blink and then run.
Yeah. Oh!
Paparazzi.
Oh!
Didn't glimpse?
Dude, no, I don't think he had the vision. I think he was just outside of the field.
Was like literally right on his face.
No, I think he was just outside. He must have, I mean, I'm sure Fly would have glimpsed. He had max actually. He was in range easily.
Yeah, I mean, the way that he moved made it seem like he didn't see him. Very interesting, though.
Alright, smoke time from iG.V. Paparazzi has the Shadow Blade ready to lead the way. And they are going to be going towards the mid. This Observer is going to spot out the Slark. A lot of scribbles being drawn by Fly as well, just warning the team that iG.V may be in the neighborhood wanting to do something, and OG want to try and tackle it on.
Yeah, they're pinging out the ward right now. They're just looking to deward it.
Yeah,
the vision game on the side of iG.V is going to make it really difficult for OG to find the fights they're looking for, which is why the Slark Night Stalker combination is so potent. Because look at the map right now, like OG don't have a ward up. They just got nothing. They can't see any part of the map.
Oh, they got one here, Andy. Top left.
Wait, where?
But it's...
Oh yeah, sorry, they have one lane ward, excuse me. But
I mean, other than
vision,
that, yeah.
That vision doesn't really help them at this current juncture. They might as well not even be there.
Now we can see OG certainly wanting to try and do something over this half the map. They've got Chrono up and Search, but at the same time, at this timing, Super has that global. So it really is all about who gets the jump on who. As we're still at a stage of the game where, no one with any kind of Yules, BKB or Manta, anything to remove that global silence is at the ready. So it's still a very, very strong point for iG.V to find a pick if they can get themselves in position for it. And Cicada's farm is keeping it up. It's just slightly behind the top 2 on the board, but it's still very, very close at the moment. A lot closer, of course, than game 1. This is looking to be a lot stronger of a performance from iG.V and pretty much the level we expected from them.
Yeah, I think a lot of it just, when they first picked Batrider, OG, they kind of set the tone for the style that they wanted to play, and iG.V just countered with the proper heroes. Night Stalker and Slark are pretty much 2 of the best heroes in the business, not to mention the Silencer being able to stop any follow-up from a lasso target or a Chrono. So they have really good ways at stopping OG's momentum. It's going to come down a lot to when iG.V decided they actually want to fight. Because for now it seems like they're content to just go for trades, although that wasn't much of a trade, they just lost their tier 2. And just let, Paparazzi try to get whatever farm that he can and hope that Cicada and Paparazzi together can kind of carry that mid-late game in regard to team fights and just abuse the fact that they're almost always going to have the vision advantage.
Both teams really kind of avoiding each other at the moment. And I mean, in terms of Paparazzi's build, I guess, well, it's going to be what the Echo Saber next.
Either that or BKB.
I mean that's what I was thinking. I mean, does a quick BKB help you that much this game? I mean, there's obviously a lot that goes through it.
Oh, yeah.
but I guess you need it
thing
against
is-
the Disruptor. The Static Storm is just too much.
Well, not only that, but the OD as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
in the Bloodseeker Silence,
Yep.
there's a lot of things that you have to worry about, you know, trying to Dark Pact in this game. And if you get Ruptured on top of any other spell, you're almost assuredly going to die, because the second spell is what actually ends up killing you. If you just get Ruptured and you're magic immune, there are ways that you can escape. You know, you BKB, you teleport out. And unless you get Chronoed, there's no other way. Well, I guess they could lasso you too. So maybe, I don't know. It's a hard game to itemize, but if he gets like BKB plus something else. Got it.
Oh no, they glimpsed him out the corner. Oh, it doesn't matter. They've got another blue ball of doom. The Static Storm's laid down. So a little bit of an interesting pick, but it works. OG get the kill. Taking down Staccato. With one man off the map, OG will feel confident to move into the pit. And iG.V, yeah, without that Invoker, unlikely to want to try and do anything around there. I mean, maybe Paparazzi tries for a play, but it would be incredibly risky for him to do so. As Roshan pulls quick, he pulls fast, he's Shadow Bladed up. They're going to do anything now. Too late anyway. OG get it. They'll take Roche. They'll get the Aegis onto Notel.
Boop.
Oh.
There we go.
Easiest kill of Paparazzi's life. Oh, he
Aegis
takes
down.
the Aegis down. Now looks towards Jax. OG messing up here as iG.V find a few easy ones. Dogfights will go down in return. The global comes out. They're going to look to focus their efforts onto Ana in July, and Paparazzi closing the way, but the Sanities is dropped down. They're incredibly low. S4 with the lasso onto Paparazzi. Sunstrike coming through onto Ana, but it's not enough damage. OG now looking for more. Chasing down in July with the Diffuser Blade charge. The first hit bash. He should go down as well, and indeed he will to the astral damage. So OG, little bit of getting caught out very awkwardly as they came back into their jungle, but they do manage to make the best of it at the end of it all and hit back hard against iG.V.
Now, the fight would have been really good for iG.V if the Diffusal Blade wasn't freshly purchased there on Notil. It made a really big difference because he was able to get rid of the global straight away, just go right back into the fight after he respawned in the Aegis and deal a tremendous amount of damage. He actually used like 4 charges in that one fight, so his first Diffusal Blade level was already halfway done. It's tricky right now for iG.V. I think if they wait, you know, for the Slark to finish up the BKB, it might be a bit easier for them. I mean, obviously having the magic immunity and a 10-second BKB, he's going to cut through the supports on the side of OG very fast. Like we mentioned before, Bloodseeker is not innately that tanky. He just buffs the heroes on your team with Blood Rage to give him a huge amount of DPS and cast Rupture on one of your cores, and that's pretty much all he does. So I'm still thinking that iG.V had a shot here. It just depends on how the fight goes.
I mean, if we have a look at the actual difference of the moments between the teams, OG have just started to get a bit of a lead. But yeah, the stage 4K, and it's not the end of the road for iG.V. A good team fight, and they can turn it around. As we've seen, OG very much with the lineup, the capabilities to turn it. Especially, as you mentioned, with that Diffusal pickup on Notel, who's also very close as well to being able to pick up the Ultimate Orb and get that Manta style done. And we just know then how much the damage output of this Void skyrockets with the Manta Diffusal online if he gets a good chrono.
It's also amazing against Silencer.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you can do at that point. Because he's either gonna, he can offensively Diffusal and then Manta himself when he gets silenced, or he can like dispel one of his teammates' globals and then Manta himself. Like there's a lot of plays that you can make with it. So his itemization in this game is on point.
Well, OG. I'm going to smoke up, and yeah, they're going to try and make a move down here. That smoke, I believe, was outside of the range of that wall. I think that wall might have caught a little bit of it.
Nah, I don't think so.
Was it just
they
outside?
Would have had to have been,
yeah.
They would have had to have been watching the area to see the edge of the smoke. And I don't think Sakata got the memo, so he's probably dead.
Yeah, no tell, no messing. Drops the chrono immediately. The question is, can they find themselves anything more? Dogfights is actually coming across onto this one. Silence coming out onto 2, but he's been ruptured already. Dogfight's trying to get himself out of this, but the blood right's down. He's gone. A second pick for OG. Take 2. And now, another fight. They didn't use the global silence. Super is being very diligent in holding on to that for the perfect opportunity, and of course he still needs the rest of his team back alive. It's OG now putting the pressure onto the high ground. Paparazzi coming across, I'm going to make a bit of a jump, pops the BKB, tries to focus Notel, but Notel just time walks it off. Paparazzi, who can he get a lock on? Now looks to Ana, now the global silence comes out, but Paparazzi, he just doesn't find anything there. There'll be a glimpse back, bringing in July back into the hands of Ana as Night Stalker falls. And iG.V dropping a lot there on that defensive. They may have slowed down OG a little bit, but they don't find any kills. And they lose their Night Stalker.
It wasn't the greatest fight for iG.V. I think they really need to wait for in July to get his Aghanims finished. That's going to be when they can take the most reliable engagements. Just having the vision is really what their team focuses on the most. Between the Slark and the Night Stalker both being able to restrict the Bat Rider from being able to go in, and heck, really anyone. Because they have multiple initiators now on the side of OG, being able to rupture somebody, you know, Blink Bat, Void will eventually get Blink, I assume, after the Manta Style's done. And you're going to have to worry about, like, multiple pronged initiations, and you need vision to defend against stuff like that. So for now, iG.V just need to continue to play the farm game. The issue really stems from the fact that even though their cores are staying consistent, no one else on their team has farm. It's just the Slark and the Invoker, that's it.
Andy, am I drunk, or what does Ag's Bloodseeker do? I don't think I've seen even
ruptures.
Oh, yes, it does.
And and it lowers the cooldown by 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah, it even says, lol, I'm a retard. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, Aghanim's Bloodseeker, nearly good to go on Jerax.
That's really painful, because you can just rupture the Slark twice, so you can rupture the Invoker and the Slark or whatever, and then it's like, alright, well, 12 seconds of me doing nothing.
Oh. Nope. Time walk it, son. Okay.
He does not like time walking damage, by the way. He has not done it very much. I think he's just relying on Blood Rage. He just like...
I mean, Blood Rage it does a lot. I mean, look at those heals. That is some balance.
I think I don't need to time walk. I'll just make my support and Blood Rage me.
500. Very nice.
Ward's going to spot all this movement here from the side of OG, so... Not having a gem just yet. A little bit unorthodox, actually, to not have a gem at this stage when you have Bat Rider. Usually that's like one of the go-tos. As soon as you have Blink Force, you just buy the gem so you can deward everything and ensure that your initiations are not going to be scouted out. But it looks like S4 is not going to be going for that just yet. Maybe he wants Yules, actually, or a Lotus Orb before he goes for the gem, so that way he can reliably dispel silence.
Well, 15 for 7. 25 minutes in, iG.V, they're certainly going to keep the game going longer than game one.
The gem. Okay.
Oh yeah, this is... I mean, how do you go about the perfect fight here for iG.V? As you said, what you need the Axon in July, which he has nearly got done. And then
you kind of got to kill...
Yeah.
You got to pop a hero really fast. Yeah. So maybe the Disruptor, maybe the Bat Rider if you can catch him, or the Bloodseeker. Those are probably the best targets. The Void and the OD are very hard to kill. Hurricane Pike on Ana, he's also got 2,000 health. Manta and Diffusal done on Void, so you can't really engage on them. But you can assuredly, with the Aghanims and the Night Stalker, find the backline and try to poke it with the Slark and the Night Stalker and get a kill that way. If you can global on top of that initiation and get those kills, then you can really get the fight going in your favor. Or if OG initiate on you and you get a properly timed global, you can try to counter engage. Those are probably the two best case scenarios. But killing a hero in the beginning of the fight with global is probably the best way. Because you want to make the fight a 4v5 with the global.
OG going to get themselves in position again for another bit of a push down bottom. The final tier 2 that stands on iG.V's side of the map looks to be the target. They're not going to have no tail for this one though. Actually teaming down to bottom. He can get a solo kill if he lands a chrono. Paparazzi's already back. So you can't quite find the opening, and it is simply just going to be backing off here from OG. Not wanting to take a fight on this bottom lane with no tail not being there anymore. They'll just head back, clear out the other lanes. I mean, do you feel that OG are under any kind of pressure this game, or are they pretty chill against iG.V's heroes?
It depends on how fast the Slark can farm. I think if Paparazzi gets, another item on top of his Silver Edge, before Ana has like a Hex or a Shivas, I think that there is potential for them to turn the game. Because the OD needs some form of control to blow up the Slark, outside of just relying on the Bloodseeker. Although they could be saying to themselves that double Rupture is going to be more than enough for Paparazzi at every stage in the game. That's also a possibility. If that's the case, and just having 2 Ruptures is enough to deal with the Slark, then I don't think that iG.V would ever be able to potentially outscale OG unless they mess up in the fight.
Nice thought. Sweeping across again. I mean, they just kind of maintain a control around this area near the Roche pit. And it's going to be up in just over a minute. iG.V just avoiding all movements, keeping themselves back on the high ground. So OG...
As for...
Yeah.
They just did the wraparound to look for wards. That's basically what they were doing. So they had no more vision on the side of iG.V until they get a fresh set of wards up. Looks like Super has a couple in his inventory right now that he's going to try to get down. But this is the part that becomes really annoying for iG.V, because normally you want to be playing the vision game. That's why you pick, you know, your Night Stalker. That's why you pick the Slark. But they're kind of being restricted because they're just very far behind in regards to item progression. The team fight in OG is insanely strong. Like, having 2 Ruptures, having a huge AoE silence like Blood Rite, Static Storm, and Chrono just makes it so iG.V finding that opening to get picks just ain't happening, because the rest of OG are just sticking together.
That's bottom tower in trouble. iG.V looking for some trades across as Cicada puts the pressure on. Looking to raise up onto the tier 3 down bottom, mid lane tier 1. And she's still standing, looks like they aren't able to finish it off, so OG take a tower, nothing in trade at the moment. Paparazzi sweeping across, they want to try and catch OG on the back, but this S4 links down, forces out No Tail with the Chrono, but he gets silenced, pops the Manta, looking to take down Angelai, but Angelai incredibly tanky. Global Silence comes out now, S4 stuck up on the high ground, the Sunstrike comes down, they'll take the bat, Gem hits the deck, Paparazzi tries to pounce over, he's trying to look for the kill onto Fly, but Paparazzi, he's actually just going to TP out of this one, he's terrified. He gets himself out of there, so it does just end up the 1-for-1 trade. The gem still sits there.
Who's going to send the courier out? That's the question.
Yeah, he's got it. So they recover the gem.
And they took iG.V's gem too.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Not the greatest. Cicada's trying to do what he can here. He's actually pulling the creeps away from mid while simultaneously hitting it with his tower. Or hitting it with Forge Spirits. Because he knows that the tower doesn't have backdoor protection, so nice little play there. Might end up getting denied, but Paparazzi's in the area.
He's just sweeping behind Anna, seeing if he can get any of the supports. He's going to get eyes onto Fly.
Free gem!
The courier's dead! Fly! Oh, he's going to live. The glimpse back is there. And now Paparazzi could be in trouble. He's been ruptured, the blood right's down, and Paparazzi pays with his life. And there they have it, the gem again. Gems everywhere.
So I think actually the Slark is worth more than the courier at this point.
Now off the back of this, OG looking to find more. Lassoed, ruptured, everything. Angelai's out. 2 kills for OG. They maintain control of the gems this game.
Cicada though, he's applying pressure to this top tower. It's almost dead actually.
He did a serious bit there. This is what it's going to be all about.
Spirits.
The Invoker Rat, I mean, he's got 4k gold. So he himself is doing good, but as we can see, OG into the pit. Actually not going to be finishing it off here. There may be time for iG.V to do something about this. Just under 20 seconds before they've got the full team back up. So they may be able to contest Roshan.
It's good communication though by OG, because they recognize Anna's like, I'm showing in lane, so you guys need to make sure that you're backing before the rest of iG.V get in the area. Because fighting around that part of the map with a Night Stalker being up in a couple of seconds and having Ags is very scary.
Oh, losing Super though! Super was just about to have Global back off cooldown. He can buy back though.
How did he know he was there? Did he just
lose
blink
more.
at the clip?
This towards mid S4. He's got eyes onto Dogfights. Dogfights trying to roll in onto Anna. There'll be a buyback. In fact, the Chrono came out for No Tail onto 2, but he himself doesn't have the damage on his own. Has to get himself back down and out. So Chrono used. Buyback's been used, and so is Global Silence. No Tail actually blinking in, looking to chase for more. S4 has a lasso available, but there's 4 members of iG here coming down with the EMP. S4 in trouble as Paparazzi jumps in, takes down the bat. Anna cleans up the Earth Spirit. Astrals himself. See if they can find anything more here. Paparazzi, he's been spotted. They've got the vision. They rupture him. No Tail chasing in, hits the first hit bash onto Super. It's going to be a dieback on the Silencer. They're looking to find more as well. The glimpse back onto Paparazzi. OG take a 4th. Besides, Cicada was able to TP back to base. But again, another very painful fight for iG.V. It's 23-9, and it's starting to get to the point where iG.V, again, like in Game 1, are forced into a position where it's very hard to pull the game back from.
I mean, Cicada's going to do what he can here, but like you already mentioned, it's kind of tough. I guess the one thing that iG.V can take solace in is the fact that OG don't really kill the base super fast. So they might have time to make one last-ditch effort here. Nice Stephanie.
He's trying, but there's the rupture, the Bloodseeker. Not going to be enough. Silence comes out. They have put the vision. The illusion's bashing into him. No tell. Walks out. Paparazzi's actually going to jump down. They're chasing. The stun hits. But the static storm from Fly maybe stopping them going in. No, they still get it. They just need the punches. Fly gets out.
That's a big kill. They didn't get racks either.
That's a lot of money going the way of Slark as well. He was able to end that godlike streak of No Tail. And what's he picking up with that money? Well, nothing for the time being.
He did buy something. Wait. Who got the kill? Yeah, Slark got the kill. Why doesn't he have any money?
Wait,
oh, because
what did
he bought back, that's why.
Okay, so it was reduced by the buyback penalty. Okay, so it's kind of bad that he got the last touch then.
Pretty much.
Because that's gold, like, gone.
It's gold wasted, pretty much.
Yeah. He's got a DD though. He can punch someone's head in.
Yeah, OG needs to be very careful right now.
Alright, off you go, boys. Deny that tower. I'm going to look for Roshan. And yeah, with no tail, this should be a free road for IG. I don't think OG can do anything about this, can they?
No, definitely not. And scouting S4 out and the rest of OG with the ward. I think that OG probably know this is happening, but they don't really want to take the risk of giving IG 2 really good fights back to back. Paparazzi's gonna get himself an Aegis here. He doesn't have a TP scroll though. Gonna take a little bit for IG to push the waves out. That's also another thing that is going to become more relevant the longer the game goes, is IG have pretty poor wave clear. Like Slark is okay, and Invoker is pretty good, but that's about it. Like none of the other heroes can really play the lane game that well. Whereas OG have like Batrider who clears waves fast, you know, Bloodright, it's a 13-second cooldown, you can pretty much spam it. OD kills creeps extremely fast. And if it, push comes to shove, if they're just trying to buy time, I think that OG are going to be able to do a pretty good job at keeping the lanes pushed. And they're also very good at not getting picked. That's another part about this game that's been kind of standout for me, is OG's communication and just staying together, not letting the Night Stalker and the Slark kind of run all over them during the mid-game. That's like the hallmark of a good team. You just need to know what the enemy team wants to do at every given point. And can somebody please deny that tower mid?
I mean, it's free vision, Andy.
23 health! Come on, Anna. You're 9k. Just go freaking hit the tower one time. They gotta be keeping it alive for like some next level bait or something, I don't know.
It's the tower bait. They want them to go for it.
If one hero hits that tower one time, it's dead. Alright, there's gotta be some reason they're not doing it, obviously.
What's Jarek's building now?
I don't know. Maybe BKB? Because really, actually, he might build something like Aura, like AC or something instead. That would actually be really solid for this game. Because I think Bloodseeker is the hero who doesn't really transition into a pure right-clicker, but you can build items that support the team, like Vlad's, AC, stuff like that. Maybe a Basher into Abyssal Blade or something, just for a little bit more crowd control. Or, you can just make a Dag and Bloodseeker.
We have it, Scythe. Picked up on Anna. First round.
This is the super scary point now for IGV, because if a hero gets hexed, it ain't living. It's just dead. Anna does a ridiculous amount of damage with the int scaling that he has, and that's not even including like just Blood Rage. Blood Rage, Sanity's Eclipse with 40% more damage. You're just gonna. I think you die so hard your game actually just gets uninstalled.
It's gonna be ridiculous if he's allowed the free reign to punch in these fights, which is obviously very likely with the amount of crowd control that OG have. And what Paparazzi, king of the DDs, he's found himself another one. He's coming across. I mean, we'll see how carefully he plays. This is. He
just wants that tower. He's gonna come in for it.
Hey, easy go. And
that's what happens when you don't deny your tower.
I mean, I guess they were keeping it for vision and a position to TP into from, but yeah, Paparazzi's gonna be happy with that moolah for the team.
I mean, it's kind of getting to that point where OG aren't feeling super comfortable on the map anymore. IGV have good vision. The Night Stalker Ags is in effect. It's natural nighttime as well. They still have the potential to get the Slark out of control. Another Hex going to be coming out this time. It's going to be on Cicada, so Blink Hex into some Invoker spells can easily get a kill at this stage. Especially considering the fact that, Anna does not have BKB.
Oh, just kind of grouping around each other. They got a smoke? Oh, they did. Yeah, there we go. Coming in on the courier. So smoked up. RGB ready to go.
Oh, they scanned it. They know exactly where they are. They are also smoked as well.
They want to do it. No tell. He wants to look for a chrono maybe. S4's going to be the first one to go in. Rupture onto Paparazzi, but Paparazzi wants the BKB. The silence comes out. The Hex onto the Earth Spirit. No-Tail forced back. He still has the Chrono. Jumps in. He'll get 3 of them here. Absolutely massive. The Sanity's Eclipse comes down. The Aegis is gone. 2 dying by the side. They should be able to kill Paparazzi again. He does not have the BKB. It's already been used this fight. 4 dead. Fly will pay with his life, but iG.V getting absolutely shredded there.
There's that fight was very well executed by OG. It's important to understand that the Void, it's very dangerous for him to lead in, because if he gets hexed like that by Cicada, he did the right thing. It's just a matter of the rest of his team not being able to follow up fast enough to get the kill. So ideally, like, you hex the Void, you global, and you kill him straight up. That way they don't have that AoE teamfight control. But the problem is, a lot of the cores on the side of IG are all melee. So there's a good chance that if No-Tail doesn't die in the hex, he's gonna get a good counter chrono. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. Because he pops the BKB after the hex wears off, there was no follow-up damage on him. And that teamfight just went disastrously for that reason alone. You have to kill the Void. If the Void doesn't die, Chrono comes out, Ana gets free reign, drops the Sanity's Eclipse, and, well, you saw what happened.
On top lane, they're looking for Ana. That's just for the lasso controlling in July for the time being. Holding at the moment. Still a bit of time before Invoker starts back. S4 pops the BKB, has no lasso. Just doing his best to force them back. BKB comes out from in July. Rupture holding Super back out. He's going to TP to base, so he's okay. There's your second charge of the Rupture. Drop down onto Night Stalker. He can't get himself back, though, and they'll lose in July. Dogfight controlling Ana. Cicada coming in with the combo. Lands it straight onto the OD. A huge bit of gold going his way as they'll crush Ana. Anything more here? S4 just in time, blinking out to chase him down. The roll forward, it's juked out. S4 with the jukes. He's been silenced. He's not going to be able to get himself out of this one. A double kill for Cicada as they clean up another. No-Tail comes in with the Chrono. Catches out 2. Manta style out. Looking for the Invoker kill. He'll find it. Turns towards Dogfights. Takes the Earth Spirit as well. And now Paparazzi has been ruptured. Can you do anything with this one? He's super in trouble. No-Tail is just kind of cleaning up this game at this stage. Paparazzi looking for Jarex, but No-Tail coming across. No-Tail, he's got himself a triple. He'd love to get himself an ultra. He's chasing down the Slark. Go on, Jarex, give it to the boy, and he will. No-Tail takes the ultra kill. iG.V all hit the deck. Despite their best efforts to push them back, they're going to have to do it again very shortly, and Slug does not have buyback. Cicada does on the Invoker. They should have Earth Spirit and Silencer back up for the next fight. But the base is in tatters. They're only holding on to a ranged Rex down bottom. And a percentage of the life of this ranged Rex up top, and now that's gone. So 1 Rex left down bottom, and No-Tail, he's looking for the action, looking for the kills. Going in onto in July. The buyback from Cicada may have caught him off guard. No-Tail pops the Manta. Time walks off. Now goes back in. Looks towards the Invoker. The ruptures from Jarex is there. No-Tail bashing into the Invoker. Tried to get the dieback. He will. No-Tail takes down Cicada. Turns towards in July. S4's there with the lasso. The Global Silence comes out. Is going to save in July. No, the Flame Break ticks him down. S4 takes another. Super, the last remaining survivor here on the side of iG.V. And GG is called. OG do it again in game 2. 35-13. What a display at the end of the day there. And I love that. Jarex buys a Dagon.
In the history of competitive Dota, I don't think I've ever said the team with the Bloodseeker outdrafted their opponent. But I actually think that OG's draft was better this game. For the sole reason that they understood how iG.V had to play the early game, and just how much abuse they could get out of having a 6-minute level 6 Bloodseeker, being able to pressure the map, giving Blood Rage to the mid player if he gets low on health, you know, Blood Raging the safe lane, whatever. Picking a core that naturally builds into Manta Diffusal, whereas a lot of other heroes don't really want to make those items in conjunction because they just don't offer that much. But Void's natural buildup just does so much against a Silencer that even if you have Global on top of Chrono, it doesn't really matter that much because No-Tail's item progression, who also played very well by the way, it was on point. So
No-Tail,
yeah, OG just they honestly seem to be on another level than iG.V in this series.
Yeah, and it's maybe because, obviously from what we've seen, Ana on the OD, it's a safe bet. But the other heroes that we've seen him play on this land were a little questionable. So I think you've got to be really worried about OD, Ana's OD. And as you said, the fact that OG can pull out a draft like this and make it work as well as they did, and the fact that Bloodseeker ending the game for 122, he does have that Dagon in his inventory. So, well, pub games, I mean, we've got Jarex to blame for that, as he himself certainly makes it work. We'll have to see if those queuing up in ranked can do a similar kind of job. But the Bloodseeker jungle, OG making it work. And I believe that is it for the games today. Me and Andy will be back tomorrow. I believe we're doing a couple of them. There should be 4 games. 4 series, though, once again tomorrow. And I believe some of the upper bracket action, which is what's going to be next. So, ladies and gentlemen, do tune in for that tomorrow, starting at the same time as it did all start off today. But that is it for MDL LAN coverage for now. Andy, any last words?
Please don't pick Bloodseeker in your pubs. Thank you.
There we go. And I think that's a sentiment that will be reflected across the whole of the Dota 2 playing community. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.